We're here at Omnimount, and they've got this new product. It's not out yet, but it's really cool. We're going to check it out next. It's called the Wall Organizer. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put Into Geek, CES 2015, and we are here at Omnimount, good friends of Geekazine. Of course, we've talked about their sit-stand desks and tables and stuff like that, and the benefits of becoming healthy. We've talked about their PlayX wall mounts for TVs, so if you're gaming and you want to lay on the floor while gaming, you can bring the TV down. Well, this is a new item from Omnimount. It's called the WorkSpace Wall Organizer. And the best part about this is it fits flat anywhere. I mean, you could put this in your kitchen, you could put this in your living room, you could put this in your bathroom, you could put this in your wherever. In fact, we were talking about it, and all of a sudden it became a whole bunch of, what if you did this? What if this had this? What if this had this? And it works so well because it just becomes an instant workspace wherever you need it to be. Of course, you have to attach it to the wall. It doesn't require any extra cutting into the wall. It's a surface-mounted device. And of course, you can have a special well in here. So if you're by a plug outlet, you can put it right on the plug outlet. You can then put in a power strip underneath in this little well right here. So then you can power your items. You can have your plugs ready to plug in your tablets, to plug in your laptops, or whatever. So this is how it works. We're going to close this really quick, and then we're going to turn the key because that's how that works. This is how most people will see it. As you can see, it's got a nice etched glass on here, so you can see all the products inside. You see the tablet, you see the laptop. So, you know, if you pass by, you can visually inspect what's there. You can take the key and go if you want. If you don't want your kids to get in here, it's a perfect place to put the laptop and the smartphone if the kids are in a timeout, and go from there. But anyway, we put the key in, turn it, and we can actually let it drop like this. It's got a soft lowering, and then this becomes your desktop. 25 pounds, so I can actually put a laptop on top of here. Laptop and a mouse. Since it's laser etched, it can actually use a laser mouse, and it'll work pretty well from there. Of course, try not to lean on it too much because it is glass, and go from there. These little latches right here do really cool. If you push those both down, they'll actually move it up. As you can see, I'm moving this up right here. Here, but so I can bring it up to about here. I can bring it back down here. So if I'm a taller person, I can move up the desk. If I'm shorter, I can bring it back down. And of course, you can then set this to whatever height. You know, if you have it for the kids, you can set it to a lower height. If you've got it for adults, you can set it to this average height and go from there. All of this is modular. So these are all shelves that can be removed. But they've got these little guide pans here. And of course, the little guide strips, those are stationary, so you can't do much there. They've got a nice little pan right here that holds charger electronics, and of course, they have little notches and things, so you can put like sunglasses, maybe your car keys if you put this next to your door or something like that. As you can see, there's pens right here. How many of you can't remember where you put your pens nowadays? I know I always lose them, and I'd love to have them right in my kitchen. We were talking about different things that we could do here. Instead of electronics, the kitchen is one of these newer places to put cool tech. We have an older iPad, which you might have your recipes on. You could put that iPad right here. You could have this in your kitchen. I don't know if this can be a cutting board by any means, but this could be a work surface for you to help with your food prep and learning how to make a dish or something like that. And then you'll have all the stuff here to help. And you might even be able to put in some spoons and ladles or something like that in the kitchen. We talked about how this could be in the man cave. Getting it out of the place, you know, you just need a place to check something really quick. You could pull this down, get some work done, and go from there. This could be in almost any room, and of course it takes up very little square footage when it's all closed up, and it looks really nice. The other cool thing about this is, since this is etched glass, you can actually take dry erase markers and then use it kind of like what the old refrigerator used to do, where you could write things on, maybe put Post-it notes. This is metal, so you could probably put on some magnets down here and go from there. So really cool. This is the type of tech that is an accessory to your tech. And if you think about it, this is just, this is no different than a medicine cabinet in your bathroom, except now it's in your living room storing your electronics. And that's the coolest thing about this thing right here, the WorkSpace from Omnimount. Now, there's no prices out just yet. There's the availability, they're saying about June when they're going to start coming out. And of course, when it comes out, we'll get a unit and we'll review it over on Geekazine.com, so just check it out over there. So this is it. It's the workspace from Omnimount. Check out all their stuff over at Omnimount. JustStand.org to learn about all the sit-stand desks and, of course, the workspace when it comes out. Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine, Thing Magazine, Put in a Geek. Of course, you can check everything out over at youtube.com/Geekazine or facebook.com/Geekazine. Geek out.